Oh, here we go. This is in the thumbnail. This is in the thumbnail for a reason. This is the new Romeo8t AMR. So this is not a Romeo8t. So to go back, I believe it was called the Apex Prism. It was something. I forget the actual. It's like the Phantom or something like that. So the Apex 1-4 Prism optic. You should be able to find it from there. And I'd never heard of the company before. I was literally walking by. A lot of the stuff looked generic, and then I see like a Prism 1-4x. What the heck is that? There it is. Drew Morgan put it up. The Apex Vapor 1-4x22 SFP prismatic. So if you want to look it up, that's what it is. Not launching yet. Probably later this year. I will buy one if they can hit that $800 MSRP. Now, the SIG Romeo8t AMR, which is like automated something automated something reticle, because the reticle in this design, its claim to fame is the reticle automatically switches when you flip the magnifier in place.
Ooh.
So, for instance, the Romeo8t still has all the same features of the old Romeo8t. So it has the 4 different reticles. So you can swap between them. If you're using like the circle with the center dot, and then you flip the magnifier over, it will automatically switch to the BDC automatically. And that is done through the magnifier mount and a magnet system inside. So the cool thing about that is that as long as you have the SIG mount, you can use it with any magnifier. So any 2-bolt pattern magnifier that you want to use, as long as you're using it on this SIG mount, will work with the Romeo8t AMR. Now, another cool thing is on the new AMR, they made the optic 30% smaller, 30% lighter with the same window size, or actually a little bit bigger window size. Now, guess the price on this guy, Richard.
Let's see. Well, the original 8T was how much?
Oh, like MSRP, I think like $900. Street price is like 700, and then you could occasionally find it for like 5 and 6, depending on the model.
I'm gonna guess MSRP on this is
Go for it.
With the mount $1,000.
So the MSRP of the 8T by itself, $600. MSRP. They dropped the price of the new 8T. It is now $600 MSRP. Now the mount for the magnifier, this back part, which is the only thing that you need, that is probably going to be $100 or like $75, whatever the basic mount price is. So they legitimately dropped the price of the new 8T AMR. Now, the original 8T is not going anywhere. There is just a second 8T called the AMR, which is like the automated reticle something, right? So, yeah, very interesting. And so I had a chat with, you guys have probably seen him before. Probably it's this one. So yes. Mr. St. John, he was explaining everything to me on this one. So that interview will be up on Gun.Deals at some point in the future. But I did take footage of the reticle swapping. I'm just trying to find the right one. It's probably this one. So, also, it does a intelligent swapping design. So when you flip the magnifier over into position, it also drops the brightness so that it doesn't bloom out. So for this shot here, I intentionally maxed out the brightness, and then you're going to see it when the magnifier gets flipped over. Awkwardly flip it with one hand, get the footage, bam. It switches the reticle to the BDC, drops the horseshoe, dims the reticle so it's still precise.
I like it. It does
There's
seem to have a bit of
to complain about.
Am I seeing a blue notch filter? Or
so the blue notch filter is very aggressive, but let me show you on the floor models. they have this this thing up front here. This is a sacrificial lens that
Oh,
I could not get off. So because it has a tab up top where you can like flip it down. So I'm not sure if the blue tint is from that sacrificial front lens cap, but I could not get it off. And I don't know if that's because it was like a show floor model. I was trying to get that off, but it does have a blue tint. Yes. That is the one thing that I did notice about it. Let me see. I'm sure I have some other footage of me showing the reticle system. And now I actually have to, yeah, so that's now also very important to note is it will remember what mode you had it on. So it's not, so for instance, if you flip the magnifier into position and then swap the reticle to whatever you want, it will remember that reticle for the flipped position. If you flip it out of the way and then swap the reticle, it will remember whatever that is. So if you want, I want just the 2 MOA dot, and then when it's flipped in, I want the outer circle for some reason, it would do that for you, right? So, but as you can see here, it has the sacrificial lens on. So I'm not sure if it's probably a little more tinty because of that, but it does have a very aggressive tint, at least on these show floor models. So yeah,
that's not
really
bad though.
cool
For
tech.
they
100%.
dropped the price, $300 basically.
Yeah.
I
I
like
mean,
it.
I'm kind of, I was glad to hear it because you don't often hear like, hey, new thing. Now it's cheaper and better too.
I figured that they would come in at probably
Now also,
$100 more, including the mount and everything. But no, that's a good deal.
also important to note for those is that it is using the cheaper Juliet 3 micro magnifier. So that's not like a high-end magnifier. That's like their basic generic magnifier. And again, you can put any magnifier you want on that mount because the mount is the thing that actually swaps it. So if you look right here on the back of it, right there is the little magnet insert. Oh, I guess it is a different bolt pattern, actually. It's a 4-bolt pattern. I didn't notice that. I thought they said that you could swap it on, but I'm sure you could get an adapter plate that would put on a different magnifier if you wanted to. But that little magnet gets flipped into position, and then that automatically flips something in the 8T AMR that swaps the reticle. So pretty cool. Pretty cool.